18 greens. I think this is our third video. We'll be going over how to import your data from other systems using some spreadsheets. I think this is the state we left it at last time. We've got one of my range sessions in there. I want to get that range session out and get a newer one in there. So I'm going to go to settings, delete all launch data, hit yes there, and now all my data is gone, so I need to add some more data in here. Best way to do it if you've got a lot of data, a nice good session, is to type them in on some spreadsheets. First thing we're going to do is go to the data import tab. All the directions that you need to do this are found in the little book in the upper right. Finding a file management, where to put files, things like that, that's kind of up to you. I usually keep them in the cloud, on my iCloud drive, and not on the device if I can't help it. But that is what I do. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hit this generate template and open the folder, and you'll see that here's our driver data that we exported before. Here is our launch template. So I'm going to go back to 18 greens, the app. I'm going to do import launch data, and I'm going to go to the 18 greens folder, and here's that launch template. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. I think that has the 2017 PGA Tour averages, courtesy of TrackMan. So they don't have a 4 hybrid in there. I think they have a 3. But here are all the PGA averages. And if you notice, there's no standard deviation because I think it's just one record. So if we go look at driver, I guess I can turn off deviations and targets because we don't need that. We'll close this up because we got a nice long screen. I went portrait because it's a little easier to work with spreadsheets, and I went landscape mode. It's a little easier to work in landscape than it is portraits with spreadsheets. So once again, here's some data I don't need. So I'm going to go back out to settings. What's a neat feature too? So let's say you just went out and you hit a small bucket and you worked on let's say you worked on your 7-iron and you want to get rid of all the 7-iron data. You can just delete all your 7-iron data and all the rest of the data stays. So that's something if you want to do that too. So now all my 7-iron data is gone. All right, back to settings. We're going to delete all launch data. Deleted it all. All right, so now I'm going to go in and open up numbers. I'm going to open from my iPad, 18 greens. I'm going to go grab this. I'm actually going to copy this first. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call it demo. And then I'm going to open it. Oh, numbers. Here is the data that I found on TrackMan's site that I put into the template here. I'm going to hit edit. And I'm going to clean all this data out. Before I do that, you can see date, monitor name, pretty much free form. A club. Clubs are defined. Read the info sheet on the data import to see what those are. Then the rest of the data you just type in. No commas. Make sure these columns don't move, that the same amount of columns are here. Just be real careful when you work with it. So I'm going to put in some data of my own. I'm going to shrink down this column a little bit because it's pretty big. And I dropped the launch monitor down while I was playing. And it was my PRGR at Meadow Hills, number 8. All right, club was a 1 wood. My club speed was 106. My ball speed is 158. Smash of 1.49. And I had a carry off the monitor of 289. I forgot to grab the total off there. But that is my data entry because that's all the data I have. Leave these blank. Don't put zeros in there. Do not delete any columns. Leave it as is. Make sure these are numbers, and make sure the club matches something that the system's looking for. I'm going to put in some more data, but I'm just going to cut and paste it from an Excel sheet I already have that I've already filled out from a big session that I keep using. I'm going to copy that, bring that over to numbers, and I'm going to paste it in. It's going to look pretty horrible when I do it. it's going to be wrong font and everything, but it really doesn't matter. So could take some time, make this really nice, but I'm not going to. I'm going to hit demo up top here and do export to CSV. I'm going to hit the share option, and I'm going to share save to files, and I'm going to save it in on my iPad, 18 greens, and I call it demo CSV. Don't really need to do that. I'm just doing it for the demo. For our tutorial here, I'm going to hit save, and now we have some data in there. All right, I'm going to get out of numbers, go back to 18 greens. I'm going to do back to data import tab. I'm going to do import launch data, and we should have that demo CSV here. Here's the original demo that we opened with numbers that created this demo, then we export it to here. So there's a lot of moving parts with moving CSVs and working with numbers and things like that. Just something you got to get used to. So I'm going to import that data. Now I go back to my distances. All that data has been imported into the system, which is really nice. So that's one way to do it. If you're good with spreadsheets and all that stuff, feel free to crank on that. Once again, the instructions are up here, kind of what I just did. The info sheet on kind of how to do it, a little more general, is from that info sheet, but I would recommend reading through this. If you're having problems with your file, hit settings, do a contact us in just your file. We'll try to figure out what's going on. The importer will probably tell you what it can't figure out. If you don't have the right number of fields, you put a comma in a field, things like that. So read that error report, adjust your file as necessary, and import. I do most of my spreadsheet work on a Mac. I don't do it on these devices, but however you feel them working, feel free to do that. That pretty much sums up the data import. I just want to show you how easy it is to delete. Now I can go in here and delete all that launch data, then go back to import, and I can import a different file, which was the original launch data file, which has the PGA Tour numbers, and now I've got that data. So it's really easy to add data in, pull data out, keep your data current. Every session, save your session off as its own file, and you can, import a bunch of sessions together. You can look at one session by itself. However you want to do it, you can tune your files, you can tune the data that's in here, however you want to do your analysis. In the end, we want a really good average, so when we go out on the course, we can write this down on our scorecard or on a piece of paper, and when we need to make a shot, we know what distance that baby's going to go with a very good level of certainty. All right, that was the end of the data import video. I'll probably do another tutorial on how I use it once I get 5 or 6 more range sessions in. The weather here hasn't been all that great, so hopefully I'll get that in next week and be able to do the 4th tutorial. All right, that's it from here. I hope you hit 18 greens in your next round.